Silas Dudley here with the Nut Dynasty. Hang on me a few minutes. We're going to take a real close look at how we're putting the water on our trees up at the BagANut test orchard. Now what I do out at the BagANut test orchard is really pretty simple. I just use an open-ended 1/4-inch vinyl tube, and I have one of those at every tree, and I bring it back and attach it to my circuits and my main trunk lines, which are made up of good old Schedule 40 PVC. The end of that 1/4-inch vinyl tube is just left open. When the water comes on, it's just allowed to free flow out of there, and it just floods the area around that tree. As that tree begins to mature and its roots are covering a larger area, I'll just get a T, put it into the end of that one, and then I'll extend out 2 directions so I can cover more of that root zone. And as that tree matures over the years, I'll just keep on splitting it, and I can go as large as I want to meet the needs of that tree's roots. Now I know there are a lot of little cool things that you can plug into the end of these vinyl tubes. I mean, you got drip emitters, you can extend a soaker hose off the end or do little micro jets. And that stuff's pretty awesome, but well, what honestly happens with me is I get lazy, I don't clean out the filter, I don't go out in the field and check them. Eventually it all gets clogged up and you're only watering half your trees, and that's not doing anybody any good. If you go with a high density orchard, you can end up with hundreds of feet of soaker hose or hundreds of those little drip emitters. It just gets to be a real mess. I mean, think about trying to mow and weed eat and harvest around all that stuff. And you can try to bury all that underground. Man, that opens a whole can of worms when it comes to maintenance. I mean, you're walking around trying to visually inspect whether or not they're emitting water properly. It's just not something I wanted to mess with. So what I do is just leave this end open. I bury the vinyl tube. I have this thing just sticking out near the tree a couple inches or so. You can harvest around it, you can weed eat around it, mow it. If you chop the end off, who cares? If there is a clog, you'll notice right away because that area isn't being flooded. And I'll just go around with my portable air compressor in the back of my truck or my wheelbarrow, and I seldom have to do this, but I'll just take and hit a few squirts kind of right into the end there like that, and just kind of put pressure back into the system. Usually it's just a little bit of mud or an ant or something that got down in there, and that's all there is to it. So first off, what I do, I buy my vinyl tube. I like to use 1/4-inch. I'll get my set of drill bits out, and I'll get a pipe, and I'll start drilling some test holes. I find there's variations in the outer diameter here, depending on the manufacturer. So I'll drill a few test holes. This particular brand came out working well with a 9/32 inch. I'll drill my hole in my pipe. I'll cut a sharp end, or a taper, on the end of that vinyl tube. And what you want to do is get that hole just snug enough that you can barely push that tubing into that PVC pipe. That's about right. It's just a little bit of tension pulling it in and out of there. So at each tree at our test orchard, we have what I call a riser coming up, and it plugs into the horizontal pipe, which makes up my main lines. I bury my horizontal lines 18 inches into the ground, and I come up about 1 foot with my riser, so that leaves me another 6 inches until I get to the surface. Now at each one of these risers, I'll come down 3 or 4 inches, and I'll drill that hole that we just talked about that perfectly fits with our 1/4-inch vinyl tube. So after I've got that tubing pushed in 4 or 5 inches, I then tape the tubing to the pipe. You want to be careful not to kink it right here. Even though it's really hard to do, I like to kind of leave it arched up a little bit, just to help guarantee that that flows nice and smooth coming out of there. I just use electrical tape, duct tape will work. And also leave plenty of room on the end there for your cap to be glued on. And you can do that here at the workbench, or just wait and do it out in the field when you glue that bottom in into your trunk line there. I know there are a lot of cool fittings out there now that you can glue onto the end of your PVC, which allow you to have a barb of some sort up here, so that you could easily quick connect that tubing on and off of this main line. But I find that this way is often cheaper. I've never seen a fitting that's cheaper than a PVC cap and a little bit of electrical tape. And this is not the best plumbing joint in the world. You get a few drips here and there out of that, but it's out in the orchard watering your trees. It's not like it's under your cabinet or in the wall of your house or something like that. you want to keep this whole assembly away from the roots of your tree, especially if it's a new planting. You don't want this right up against that young tree. Those roots will develop and they'll put pressure against this thing and may bust it. So I like to bring it back at least 10 feet or so and then just run back to that tree with your flexible vinyl tubing. Usually my vinyl tubing runs are about 15 feet or so. Keep in mind, all this is below the surface. You know, you're about 6 inches down from the surface with this. Just bury that 1/4 inch vinyl tube a couple inches underground as you run it back to your tree. And also I like to come on top of these risers and mark them by burying a piece of treated lumber or a paver or a stone or something like that. Anything that can stay out in the weather for a long time. And just bury it flush with the surface right over top of the riser like that. It keeps it all nice and neat. A lot of times the grass will start to get over these markers and you won't even be able to tell that they're there. But if you do ever have to get back in and rerun this vinyl tube, or you just want to check on your system, you can kind of poke around out there with your shovel and it's very easy to find them. Guys, that's really all there is to it. It's simple to do, it's simple to maintain. Keep in mind, if you are about to tackle your own irrigation system, you need to make sure and educate yourself. If just the mention of pumps and solenoids and pressure regulators makes your head spin, you're gonna need to take some time to find someone to help you, or maybe make a huge bowl of popcorn and start watching a whole lot of YouTube. I'm Silas Dudley. Thanks for checking out the Nut Dynasty.